Welcome to Real Nerds. I am Ryan. I'm actually sitting very far to the right this time. To my left is...
James.
To my farther left.
Come back, Ryan.
I know. I'm usually in the middle of a Brad and James sandwich, but...
Oh, that's Brad? I thought his name was Comeback Ryan.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
All right.
my name's Brad.
See, I told you there were better jokes before.
I know, and just gone. So this week, we saw the Lorax and Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie. Stay tuned for that a little later. James will not take part in that because...
I have a job.
He has a job.
Otherwise,
And-
I would totally go.
Really? I thought you didn't want to see that movie.
No. Last week I even said if you guys were going, I would go. If I thought you were. I thought you were talking about going today.
Oh.
But I'm just not excited.
So
I'm afraid
they'll
there are
be-
going to be like 10 minutes I like here, and then 10 minutes I hate, and then 10 minutes I like.
Yeah, that'll be a little later though. At the end of the
Yeah.
podcast, it'll just be me and Brad. It'll be a 2-man rap crew.
Yo, yo.
Yo.
We're so lame.
We are, dude.
Yeah.
We could not be cool.
I don't even want to be at your stupid movie party.
Anyways, we'll start things off like we do in our new segment, and that is weekly box office.
What won last week?
Act of Valor won with
What?
$24 million.
Did anybody see that?
No.
Me neither.
It's already doubled its budget, so a win for the Navy SEALs.
Go Seals.
Go
Yeah.
SEALs.
From what I hear, it's
Um,
cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll wait till it's streaming or something.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry's Good Deeds came in second.
No way.
Dude, Tyler Perry always does huge business.
Oh, wow.
Journey
Good
2,
for
The
him.
Mysterious Island, actually went up a spot to number 3, and it did $13 million.
What does that mean? What movie dropped that...
Safe House, they flip-flopped.
Oh, okay. But that's Safe House like third week or something.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's safe.
No House is Safe, yeah.
Safe House is
no
4.
one is safe.
And then The Vow is number 5. The movie we saw was number 9 with $6 million, and that was Wanderlust.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I did see that. But I mean, I can see that movie not doing well.
It's a bummer.
It's not the most accessible subject matter.
And it's
so-
something of a
That too,
DVD
and they
movie.
didn't market it very well.
Yeah. But it's also a movie that I think plenty of people could see on DVD and be fine with. So it'll probably have some longevity as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be one of those movies people, kind of a cult movie. Now, so that's it for the box office. I will say this, though. This February was the highest grossing February of all time
I would guess so.
at the movies.
It seemed like a better February.
It did.
I mean, so far this year has seemed like a better first couple months than usually,
yeah, it has.
Partially because I've seen more movies than I usually do.
Yeah, but even when I saw him last year, there wasn't a movie. I like The Adjustment Bureau, I think came out in January.
I think so.
But that was about
Or this early.
the movie I liked early. Now, this part used to be called Brad's DVD Roundup, but...
Yeehaw! No, wait.
Brad's
that's
DVD Roundup or just DVD Roundup?
it was Brad's.
Oh.
Do you not listen to the podcast that we do?
I
Are you
don't.
at the podcast? He just sits in his little box over there.
He sits in his box,
and-
his Pope bulletproof box.
in his hat.
Anybody
doing
remember that from
crossword
the
puzzles.
early 90s? Anybody?
Yeah.
When the Pope was... Yeah.
That was back when the Pope used to go on road trips.
Yeah, but, he's protected by God. He shouldn't need bulletproof. Anyway, so now it's going to be Ryan's DVD Roundup. Yeehaw! Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Anyways.
We got to get Joe to do a better one.
Yeah,
This
we
is
do.
horrible.
Dude, that was pretty good.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
Dude, that really hurts my feelings. You don't think that was good.
It was great. It was great. Let's move on.
The number one Blu-ray DVD coming out next week is Game of Thrones. It's been the number one selling Blu-ray on Amazon for like a month.
Wait, so that hasn't been available on DVD yet?
No.
Wow.
I still have the first
That's
episode
that so promotes
wrapped
people
up in
stealing
its
that show.
plastic that I have not opened or watched
You should
yet.
watch it because it's not good.
I will watch it. Because
you know what really makes me sad is I know I'm going to watch every episode of the next season.
See, they
I'm gonna
won.
watch
They
every
won.
single one.
The only reason I'll watch it is
'Cause I
because
hate
one
myself.
chick has really big boobs, and I heard she's naked in a lot.
Which one? The one who plays the naked chick?
I have no idea.
I think that's what you're
that's
talking
what I've heard about it. I just heard boobs, dude. I'm gonna watch it.
There's boobs in it, yeah.
And then Brad's favorite movie also comes out, The Immortals, on 3D Blu-ray,
Dude.
Blu-ray digital copy, and
Purchased.
DVD. Dude, it has 3 different endings or something.
No, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, the critical darling Jack and Jill is also out. 2-disc Blu-ray, DVD, Ultraviolet, and also has a single-disc Blu-ray and DVD.
Oh, man.
The Town Collectors. Actually, I don't think it's called Collectors. I think it's the Town Ultimate Edition, if I remember correctly.
Of the Ben Affleck movie.
Of
The
the Ben
Town.
Affleck. Oh, dude, there's 2 amazing Ben Affleck movies coming out this week. That's on Blu-ray. DVD and Ultra. So I'm guessing that's actually only on Blu-ray.
What's the other one? Saving Christmas?
No, it is Reindeer Games, the director's cut.
Oh, wow.
Which I remember seeing it, but I don't remember anything about it except he has sex with Charlize Theron.
I don't know that I've seen it.
It's always like blasted, like people hate it. That was the time when he did Armageddon, and he was being paid $20 million a movie, paycheck and stuff. And
Yeah, that's when people started hating him.
Yep.
I remember hating Some of All Fears. That one wasn't good.
But then he kind of reinvented himself. You know, his Gone Baby Gone is really good.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've really liked him in the last few years.
So he's kind of taking a step back. I think once he got rid of J-Lo and started dating and marrying Sydney Bristow.
Yeah, he's still ruined Alias, though, so...
Yeah. The Skin I Live In is on 2-disc Blu-ray DVD combo, and that's the Antonio Banderas one.
Oh, yeah.
Footloose is on Blu-ray DVD digital copy.
The new movie or the old movie?
The new one.
Oh, okay.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail makes its debut on Blu-ray.
Dude, okay.
Transformers Prime is on Blu-ray DVD.
What is that?
I have no idea, Brad. What is Transformers Prime?
It's some new cartoon on the Transformers, some new Transformers cartoon show.
Is it a Japanese cartoon?
I don't know.
It probably is.
Like Crazy is on Blu-ray DVD. I actually kind of want to see. Has Anton Yelchin in it. Yelchin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plan 9 from Outer Space is on Blu-ray.
Whoa!
Little Shop of Horrors is on
I
Blu-ray.
have some Blu-rays to buy. I am not kidding. Here in a second, I'm going to go order that.
Nice.
I have to own that. Okay. Keep going.
Okay, and that's it for the DVDs and Blu-rays. Kind of
more compared to last week.
Yeah, I think there's one. It might be next week or the following week. The Muppets and something else come out. I want to get, but we'll see.
By the way, as always, I'd like to thank the Digital Bits for providing our DVD information for every week.
Yeah. Anyways, real news time.
It's real news.
So
I just pre-ordered my copy of Plan 9 from Outer Space.
and the whole
Blu-ray.
time, good job, buddy.
Thank you.
And then you can let me borrow it, so I don't have to spend money on it.
Have you never seen it?
I have seen it,
Oh, okay, good.
but I don't want
Good.
to spend money on a Blu-ray for it.
I do. I absolutely do.
So real news. What happened this week? No, I'm just kidding. The Oscars happened. Actually, I didn't think the show was too bad.
No. I like Billy Crystal. I thought was really good,
Yeah.
and especially the interstitials they did, where they like interviewed people and talked about
Movies,
what things
yeah.
people like about movies. That was all really good. Yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
I like. You can have that back to Brett.
Okay.
You can. Actually, I thought the funniest moment in it was when they're introducing Best Song, and that huge songbook came up, and it came back to Billy Crystal. He's like, meh.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, there's parts like that.
It was the kind of thing where you realize you kind of remember why Billy Crystal was so good at that.
Yeah.
because he can do those little jokes that they don't have a lot to them, but he pulls them off so well that they are actually really fun.
Yeah, I agree.
It makes it feel more organic than the really stilted kind of comedy that
Yeah.
you get from a lot of other people.
And when we go through who won and stuff, then I'll tell you what I think Oscar needs to do to make it better. So they
need
started
to
off with
do a lot.
the Best Supporting Actress, which went to Octavia
Spencer,
for The Help,
which was, as far as I'm concerned, maybe the best, like, most moving actual award of the night. Like,
Yeah.
when she won, seeing how, like, that was the first standing ovation of the night, and I think the only one that was really earned. Like, there were other standing ovations, but they weren't always for somebody winning, and somebody winning that
Yeah.
everybody loved. Like, that was one where I was like, this is really great. If every award on the Oscars was like this, then I would love this show.
Then Best Supporting Actor was
Christopher Plummer.
Christopher Plummer. And I want to see Beginners. I haven't seen it, but I heard it's a really good movie.
Yeah, same here.
And it was kind of one of those things where I was reading an article on Movie Phone, and the guy was making an argument that he should have won for Star Trek 5. Six or whatever one.
Get it right.
I'm sorry. It was
Yeah.
kind of a funny article. I don't know if I saw Star Trek 6. It's the only one I've seen from the original. I don't remember him in it, but that.
He's got the eye patch.
Oh, nice. But that the guy on Movie Phone was arguing that's when he should have won his Oscar was pretty funny.
And he, from winning that, he became the oldest living, or the oldest person to ever win an Oscar. Like, he won it at the oldest age. I think it was 82 or 84. I don't remember.
84? Oh, my God.
I
I believe
he's
he's
82.
82. Max von Sydow, I think, is 84. So the award would have gone to either of them won.
Then I don't remember. Best adapted screenplay was
Best adapted screenplay was The Descendants.
The Descendants with
which
Dean Pelton.
Was pretty expected. Yeah, that means that Jim Rash won an Oscar.
It was kind of cool to see him win it.
Yeah, out of the movies that were nominated for that, I could totally see that one. I wanted Aaron Sorkin and Steve Zalian to win for Moneyball, but at the same point, like Aaron Sorkin has won Oscars before.
Yeah.
He doesn't, and so has Steve Zalian. Like, I can see them not giving it to them.
And Best Original went to
to Woody Allen.
Woody Allen, that's right. Midnight in Paris. And James is not a fan of that one.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, why was Bridesmaids nominated for that? I just don't.
Yeah.
That one felt like one where they threw Bridesmaids in there in a couple places, and it felt like they were just trying to be, populist,
I agree. And then the one that was the biggest shock of the night was Meryl Streep winning for leading actress, an actress in a leading role, and she was even surprised when they called her name.
Yeah.
She couldn't believe it.
No.
Which is
that's because she shouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah, a lot of people were not happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to speak since I still haven't seen the Iron Lady, but I just can't understand how Viola Davis didn't get that award, or Rooney Mara, or Michelle Williams, or Glenn Close for that matter.
Yeah,
the other four people in there, I could see an argument for, but Meryl Streep has been
two.
Yeah, she's won twice. She's been nominated a bunch of times.
I know a lot of people are pissed off Viola Davis.
She will absolutely get nominated again. This felt like them sort of giving her an Oscar because they thought we'll give her one this time and then we won't have to give her one again. It didn't feel like
Weinstein lobbying.
Well, yeah, that's true too. Yeah. But it just didn't feel real to me. It felt like she was winning on some weird catch. It didn't feel like she deserved it this time.
And sometimes too.
And I love Meryl Streep. Don't get me wrong, but
I heard the movie's garbage, so I think I think it sucks that they give it to, even though if you're good at a movie, if the movie sucks, then why do you get it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I kind of agree with you there.
Because even if you're really great in a movie, it doesn't mean. I think
especially for the leading roles, for the supporting roles, if you're a supporting role in a kind of crummy movie. There are plenty of people who aren't big fans of Young Adult. Let's say that Young Adult wasn't a great movie, but Patton Oswalt's role in that movie is really good. You could give him an Oscar for that role, but to give the main actress in that movie an Oscar for a pretty crummy movie, I have a hard time with that.
Best director went to Michel. How do you say his last name? Havanicius?
I'm not even going to try.
Actually, I heard the real
Havanagara
this week, and I totally forgot
it's like
it already.
Havanicius, something like that.
Hazanavicius.
Yeah,
Hazanavicius,
yeah.
And then
for the artist, obviously.
Yeah, the artist, and then the lead actor also went to the acting artist Jean Dujardin.
Yep.
And his speech I actually really liked. I thought he had a kind of a funny speech. And,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then the best picture was the artist.
It was funny, on Best Actor, there was a moment where when they were going through them and they showed Gary Oldman, I had this moment of feeling like, man, they need to give Gary Oldman an Oscar, but just not for this movie. I really want him to get one
What's
more
shocking,
role.
It's his first Oscar nomination.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, I think that was the moment when they said that was his first Oscar nomination. I thought, how is that possible? Yeah, he's so good.
He really is.
And yeah, then the artist got Best Actor, or got Best Picture. But when Natalie Portman was announcing the people, when she was announcing the Best Actors, they did a little spiel about each one and their role. In her spiel, she spoils the end of the artist. She says a little thing about how you make us care about your character, and then you make us stand up and clap when the thing happens at the. I'm gonna have to go ahead and spoil it because
it's been out for a while.
Yeah, but I don't care. The Oscars are an association that are supposed to be about caring about movies, and they don't need to spoil that especially because the Oscars have taken on this mantle of trying to promote movies that haven't made enough money and haven't gotten enough awareness. So, that's. Especially in the last few years, that's part of why certain movies have won certain things, is because they want people to go out and see them. And so to spoil that movie, and it's not a huge spoiler, but it just sucked. It was just so classless. I don't understand why they.
What'd she do again? I don't.
She says that you made us all stand up and clap when you finally speak at the end of the movie, and I'm like, you don't. I know that doesn't seem like a big deal, but I really feel like it was just shitty. Like, why did you need to say that? Someone wrote that line. Like, she didn't just accidentally say that. So you knew you were doing it. It's just, that made me mad. The other couple of things that just fucking pissed me off. Hugo won how many Oscars?
Tons.
A ridiculous number of
Probably
Oscars.
at least 5, at least.
Yeah, 5 or 6, including Best Visual Effects. It won Best Visual Effects over, and to make this clear, it's not just that I hate Hugo, which I do, but I didn't like Real Steel either, but I thought Real Steel deserved that Oscar. Or at least Planet of the Apes, which I also didn't like.
Yeah.
The animation in Hugo, like the CG in Hugo, is not very good. Like the wide shots of Paris look bad.
I agree, and actually, what the problem is the Academy. I was reading online, and the reason a lot of people voted for Hugo for visual effects, they thought the train sequence when the train was crashing was amazing, and I thought it looked really bad.
Yeah, it looks really cheap.
Did we just see a different version of Hugo?
We didn't see it in 3D. I know that. So maybe that's what they like. Is
so the 3D blurs
3D.
The screen enough that then nobody can notice that the CG is bad?
I mean, it's not even just like the effects or the editing, which was nominated for editing, but everybody loves that movie. I think it's 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't. And
I can understand people, like, I can understand it getting a nomination for plenty of reasons, but winning a lot of the things that it won for, it was staggering to me.
Yeah.
I believe didn't win Best Score too, which that score is not particularly good, especially when you put it up against the other, some of the great scores that weren't nominated this year. The other thing that pissed me off was Cirque du Soleil being there. And this sounds weird, but, they chose not to have any musical numbers in the show, which means they chose not to have Jason Segel and that guy from The Big Bang Theory up there with Muppets singing that song from the Muppets, which would have been great. Like, how much fun would it be to see the Muppets up there on stage singing? That would have been great. But instead they did this, like, long 10-minute Cirque du Soleil thing that was like, this is what it's like to see movies. And it was just, okay, it's Cirque du Soleil. It's cool, I guess. But I can find that somewhere else. Like, this doesn't actually have anything to do with movies.
Some gay Frenchman's nightmare.
Guy from The Big Bang Theory?
Isn't that where that guy's from?
Britt McKenzie is from Flight of the Conchords.
No, it's not him. The guy who voices the other character in that movie.
Voices him. I think it's just his likeness. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was the guy who voiced. Either way,
way,
in that sequence, the Man of Muppet
the
scene, when you see the human version of Walter. The human version of Walter is that actor who I believe is in the Big Bang Theory, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that was. I just assumed in the movie that it was
I think
because
it's
he voiced him. But
maybe.
Either way, it would have been cool to see them all up on stage doing that song, and that would have been way more fun than. I mean, it would mean we'd had to see whatever that song from Rio was, but still.
I know. How did
that makes more
get
sense.
nominated?
I don't know.
That's weird.
My brother read an article somewhere that the guy basically argued, like, the thing that's really weird about that is that they only nominated 2 songs, and that neither of them were necessarily the best song in their movie. That even people who like Rio, I didn't see it, but whatever. Even people who really like that movie don't think that that's the best song in the movie, whatever that song is.
Yeah.
So,
I think A Happy Song's the best song in the Muppets.
Yeah, I could see that. It certainly, you go ahead and throw another nomination.
Yeah, how I think the Oscars can be better is that they put movies in there people actually want to care would win. Like that The Dark Knight didn't win, that Saving Private Ryan didn't win. That's why people don't watch the Oscars.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you watch them, it seems like the people in the Academy think they're better than you and that they know more than you.
They're not your awards, though. They're their awards.
Yeah, I know.
We just get the privilege of sitting in and.
I know. I mean, I get that part, but if they want to make more money and stuff, they need to start understanding that people don't care about the English patient.
They should let the people who they should only let people who vote be people who have slightly better taste in movies. And just to correct a mistake that I made, it wasn't Hugo that won best score. It was the artist, which is deserved. Never mind. Yeah, well, especially because when they went to 10 nominations, kind of the idea behind that when they did it was they wanted to have like the 5 movies that they were going to nominate anyway, and then 5 more mainstream movies that people liked, so that people would watch to root for those movies that were inevitably going to lose, and then they would have the King's Speech or something like that, which the The King's Speech was actually pretty mainstream by that point, but you know what I mean. Like they
Yeah.
would still pick the movie that they thought was best, but have these other movies in there so they could talk about them, so that they could, at least in some respect, pay tribute to these other great movies. You know,
I agree.
and that's what they used to do with the technical awards too, like with the sound editing especially. They used to give that to like
Spider-Man won it.
Yeah, the Bourne movies would win it a lot.
Exactly.
This year, Super 8 should have won that. Like, that's where they would nominate movies that were usually more genre or more action movies, and give those movies Oscars, or at least Oscar nominations, so that people would watch them. But this year, it was Hugo again. Like,
Yeah,
I
to
don't
me it's like
understand
the college football playoff system. Everybody wants college football to be to have a playoff, except the people that are in charge. And because they make so much money off of not doing it. And to me, the Oscars are the same way, where they tell you that this movie is better than, even though, The Dark Knight grossed over $500 million, where the general public says it's the best movie of the year.
Yeah.
But they don't believe that. They believe, what the fuck beat it that year?
Well, you're gross.
Well, and that year I believe was Slumdog Millionaire, which, that was a tough year.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though? I mean, it's just...
I know what you're saying.
It's...
But yeah, they need to at least have, I think, the Oscars that are sort of the junk Oscars that this year, honestly, every time Hugo won, it felt to me like, oh, well, we're giving this to Hugo because we don't want to give Best Picture to Hugo.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is such a political bullshit reason for giving out awards. Because if you look at the things that it won against, it doesn't make sense that movie isn't, more of that. It's not special in that way. I feel like you should give it one Oscar or two Oscars in places where it actually exceeds, and then just not give it any more Oscars. I don't like seeing one movie get 6 Oscars. That's not cool. It doesn't make for an exciting award show. I would rather see more movies get some attention. But anyway, I did, though. There are a couple of things that I liked. Which are Rango won for best animated picture.
Your favorite
which was great.
animation movie.
That made me happy because I was afraid they were going to give it to some, foreign animation film like Chico and Rita.
You haven't seen it? You don't know. Maybe.
No, I have no idea. But I thought Rango was special, and I thought more people needed to see it.
It's actually coming out. You can watch it at the one of the indie theaters pretty soon here.
Oh yeah, I probably won't go. And then best animated short also went to a animated short that I had seen and very much enjoyed.
Is
So
it
that
the
was cool.
Flying Books one?
Yeah, Flying Books.
That one's really
saw
Which
creative.
was really great, yeah.
I commented on it for them
Yeah.
on Vimeo.
So we'll go into some different news now. Exciting
God.
news for me, except the price. I don't know if you guys saw the 31-disc Harry Potter Blu-ray set, but man, it's amazing.
I want to
Retail
like Harry
price,
Potter.
$500.
I want to like
Nice.
Harry Potter so that I can covet that DVD.
But it's like
it is so beautiful.
It's like a chest, and you open it up, and it has all the houses, like the Gryffindor, the Hufflepuff, and they all have DVDs or Blu-rays stuffed in them, and it folds out. It's beautiful.
when it's closed, it kind of looks like the original Buffy DVD box, and then it opens up sideways and turns into like a set of drawers, sort of like an arm.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
You looked at me like I haven't.
Well, yeah, it's hard to describe. I think I'm looking at you, hoping that you'll come up with a better term for what it is. Sorry, Stuart is eating your head. Stuart, get out of the sound booth.
That was weird.
There we go.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. And also other DVD Blu-ray news is the Indiana Jones series will be available on Blu-ray sometime this fall, along with Jaws. So
and it'll
good
be
time
all,
to be a
it'll be
Spielberg
all
fan.
4.
Yeah,
So I'll
Unaltered.
buy that movie again.
Excited.
Unaltered is definitely good news.
yes.
Man.
One of the news bits that kind of caught my eye is Jason Segel is too busy to do the Muppets 2.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sad. But maybe he'll serve as some sort of writer, help him. And
Oh yeah, as long as they get
see.
somebody else good to be on there, that's fine. But it means they're definitely moving forward with the Muppets too.
Yep.
As long as they take their time and don't Muppets in space this thing.
Good for the
It'll be good.
Muppets.
Yeah.
Good for the Muppets.
Did you guys see that trailer for Piranha 3 Double D?
I didn't. I meant to watch it.
It's really good.
It is.
That's all I have to say.
The Avengers trailer is really good, the new one.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man.
Pretty badass. Get you psyched for it.
There's some great Joss Whedon lines in there.
There is.
We walked out of the movie we saw tonight quoting.
Well, let me ask you: is there a lot of boobs in Piranha 3 Double D?
Yes. They do not shy away from the fact that they're called the movie Piranha 3 Double D.
You know what's awesome about my wife? She doesn't care I say stuff like that, and she likes movies too, and Piranha. So,
yeah,
and Christopher Lloyd's in it again.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think maybe the most interesting thing about the trailer is that they have, they've basically not rewritten the end, but they're ignoring the last scene of the movie where you find out there are bigger piranhas. Like they're just, starting over. It's another summer. It's new people. They meet Christopher Lloyd again in a different way. Actually, this time there are smaller piranhas. They can get.
So it's like Evil Dead 2.
Sure.
Where, the first half of the movie happens, and then they don't have the endings different, and then...
Yeah, sure. It's basically just an excuse for them to go back to having regular-sized piranha, because, giant piranha isn't that special, because then it's just like sharks, you know? Whereas having little piranha that can get in different places is interesting, and there's lots of them.
What else you got for us, James?
Ghostbusters 3 died.
Yeah, didn't think it was going to get made
again.
anyways.
Yeah, again.
Bill Murray's like, I'm not going to do it, not going to do it.
Yeah, Bill Murray sincerely dropped out, and then Dan Aykroyd threw his hands up, and so that might be dead for good now. But we'll see.
It kind of seems like the only reason that movie was going to get made is if Bill Murray said that he would do it.
Yeah. For sure. Anyway, that was the last of my news. Oh, Stuart. He's messing up all the chords in the sound booth.
I heard Bill Murray's got a valid reason for not doing it.
Oh, yeah?
The
What is it?
script is shitty.
Oh.
Yeah, how many movies that you love that they try to adapt or remake, people get psyched for and then turn out to be horrible. So, he doesn't want to be associated with that. Ghostbusters 2 people don't seem to like too much, so he's like, why do I want to put myself through that again?
Yeah.
So I can see that. I think they should just go ahead and do the next generation of Ghostbusters at this point. If people really want a movie about the Ghostbusters, just move on.
I'm sure that's probably what they're going to end up doing anyways. And then Dan Aykroyd isn't doing anything. They say, "Oh, here, have Dan Aykroyd give him the ecto blasters or something."
Passing of the torch scene, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Funny comedians like they were back in the day that could take on the mantle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Similar.
I can see that.
And chances are it'll have the same story arc as the first movie.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like they always do. So
Anyways, so yeah, that's it for real news.
Actually, I got one more bit of news.
Oh, Brad has some news.
What? Bringing something to the table, Brad. Wait, hold on. We got to yell at the dog.
Yeah.
All right.
He really wants to be in the show today. So much that he's going to destroy the show. He's like Dwight Schrute. I can either be in the show or I will destroy the show.
Is that what you have to talk about this week?
No.
Okay.
I'd like to announce that on June 15th through the 17th,
That's right.
real nerds will be invading the Colorado Convention Center to attend the Denver Comic-Con.
Yeah, so stop by our booth.
We will have mics
and
set
say
up,
hi.
and we will periodically be recording.
Wait, we're going to have a booth?
Yes.
You didn't tell me this. I thought we were just going to go hang out.
No,
we're going to
Dude.
promote the brand. We can't sell anything, but
Well, yeah.
we'll be wearing our T-shirts, and we'll have our mics set up, so we'll occasionally be recording little snippets for our episode, and
Cool.
we're going to try and come up with some activities to get the fans interested in what we're doing.
Like Twister.
I'm hoping we can build
Apples to apples.
a fake recording studio.
So can we give out free stuff?
Throw the cat.
we can give out.
Can we
free
play
stuff.
Throw the Cat?
So we got to come up with our cards. We'll give our business cards. We can't throw cats. No.
What if it's a fake cat?
That would just be weird, but I guess we can get away with that.
What if it's a dead stuffed
So,
cat? Where's the
So that
half-dead
would violate
cat?
health laws, so we can't do that.
So what Brad is saying, stay tuned, listeners, because we're going to figure out some cool things for you to do. So you can not only come to Comic-Con in Denver, and and you can say hi to us, and we'll have some fun things to do.
Yeah.
If you have any good ideas, please let us know.
Please do.
Yeah.
You can Twitter us.
Just about anything.
You can tweet us.
I know we're
World
primarily
peace.
a movie podcast, but we're also nerds, so we're gonna dive into the comic culture and figure out some kind of obviously there's comics based on movies, so we'll blend and we'll just nerd it up.
Yeah.
We're nerds, dude. We're the nerdist.
No, we're not. No.
Oh wait.
No,
I mean, no.
You can't say that.
Oh,
You
that's
can't say
right.
that.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Chris Hardwick, you dick.
Oh.
Just
do you
kidding.
do?
Just kidding. His show's funny.
He's funny.
He is
When's
funny.
he coming to town? Let's go see him.
He is coming to town tomorrow. He's in Boulder.
Are you kidding me?
I am not. He's doing his podcast live tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. No, I knew that. For months, I've been like checking his schedule to see when he just his stand-up was coming, and he still hasn't come.
Yeah, it's not stand-up.
That's what
He's
she said.
doing his podcast live at the Boulder Theater.
Yeah. I don't want to drive to Gold. I wouldn't go to Boulder for him.
You don't have to.
I would do a lot of things, but not that.
Yeah, you don't want to go to Boulder. Boulder is terrible.
I won't do that. Okay.
Anyways, so what we've been watching, I continued my Robert Downey Jr. Love Fest, and I got 3 movies this week. I've been doing that lately. I got Heart and Souls, and that movie is actually really cute. It's he plays this guy who is born at the exact instant 4 people die in a bus crash.
Whoa.
And these spirits are attached to him when he's a kid, and so he doesn't know why he has these imaginary friends, and until they think that he's crazy, and so he like blocks them out of his mind, or actually they go away. But then they find out that their purpose is they left unfinished business in their life, and so they have to get Robert Downey Jr., who plays this guy, I forget his name, Steve, and he has to finish out their thing. So what they do is they inhabit his body, and he acts like them, and he's pretty amazing in it. And it's one of those corny romantic comedies that's like really good. You know what I mean?
Does he eventually fall in love with Meg Ryan?
No, Elizabeth Shue.
Ah, even better.
He's actually already with her, but he's a jerk. Because he's like a really nice kid, but when all these ghosts leave him, he turns into this banking liquidator, bankruptcy guy, lawyer. I don't know. He's just a
Corporate stooge.
Yeah, he's just a jerk.
Gotcha.
Until he learns the errors of his ways through the ghosts, Charles Grodin,
Good for him.
Kira Sedgwick, some
Wait,
black chick,
Charles-
and Tom Sizemore.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of Josh Groban.
No.
Charles Grodin.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But no, like it's like cheesy, but it's really good.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's really good in it when he acts like Tom Sizemore is dead on impersonation. And
What year is it from?
93, I believe.
Okay. Cool.
So you should check that one out. It's like kind of a goofy romantic comedy that's really fun. I also saw Air America with Mel Gibson, and I didn't know Air America was a real thing.
Yeah.
In Laos, Vietnam, they would drop supplies to the people that are in Laos are being attacked by the North Viet Cong or something like that. And Robert Downey Jr. is a hotshot helicopter pilot for San Diego, and he gets his license revoked by the FAA, but he gets a job with the government dropping off flour, but it turns out that they're also smuggling opium. And there's parts in it that are really funny, but it also has like that late 80s, early 90s kind of action buddy comedy thing in it where it doesn't always work. But, I mean, the movie's okay.
I remember liking it.
Yeah, I mean...
It's been a while.
It's not like a great movie, but it's not terrible.
Right.
And Mel Gibson's actually pretty funny in it. I remember when Mel Gibson used to be
that was
good.
back in the heydays.
Yeah, when he wasn't
Oh, man.
weird.
Sometimes I have dreams that we're still there.
I know. Riggs.
And then I wake up.
And then the last one I saw was A Scanner Darkly, which I actually really enjoyed. I thought Robert Downey Jr. was really good in it, but the whole concept of the movie I thought was kind of interesting. In fact, I watched it, and then I re-watched it with a commentary because I was really interested in how they made the movie. And Richard Linklater, thank you, was a director, and he shot the whole movie and then gave it to the animators, and they went back and animated it. I mean, the movie looks so good sometimes you forgot you were watching an animated movie.
What's the name of the movie that they did before that one in that
Waking
style?
Life.
Waking Life, yeah. That's where they sort of worked that out.
And
It kind of looks like the old style rotoscoping.
yeah,
kind of
but what was
thing.
crazy is how great the performances were. And I'm not just, I mean, Robert Downey Jr. I think was the best one in it, but even Woody Harrelson was really good in it, and Winona Ryder was good in it.
Yeah.
And
Keanu's not bad.
He says "whoa" in it twice.
He does.
Yeah, but again, to me though, with Keanu, it doesn't seem like a stretch for his character.
No. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But you know, the concept was really interesting, and you know, at the beginning you're like, "What the fuck am I watching? I have no idea what's going on." There's obviously something to do with drugs, and
This is based on a Philip K. Dick short
yeah.
story.
But then when you find out what's actually going on, it's pretty interesting. I mean, I actually guess Winona Ryder was his boss really early on. But I thought it was interesting that they purposely got him addicted to take down this rehab that was actually pushing drugs, which I thought was really fascinating, and just kind of ends with him picking flowers.
You just sort of have that realization. You're like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Drugs are bad, okay.
But then you kind of find out that, Robert Downey Jr.'s character is actually the bad guy in it, and he's trying to set up Keanu Reeves' character. I liked it.
Yeah.
And it was different. And I mean, like I said, I liked so much I watched it twice to figure out how they did the movie because it was fascinating. And I liked it, too, because they didn't make it like a stoner movie, even though it had a lot to do with drugs, but that wasn't what it was. It was about the paranoia and, who the real bad people are.
Yeah.
Kind of like a lot of Philip Dick stories.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I liked it. And it looks amazing on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Cool, I bet it would.
So, yeah, I recommend all of them. And I haven't ordered them this week, but I'll probably get Fur. I thought I got it last week, but I forgot. And some other movies of his I don't even know yet.
I can't wait to hear what you say about Fur.
And we didn't talk about The Walking Dead last week, but this episode of The Walking Dead was amazing.
Yeah, it was. Oh, man.
It was finally one where you're like, finally, those two, Shane and Rick, went at it. And
yeah. And it feels like one that's gotten a little bit back to sort of being a artsy statement kind of show again. There are moments in that show where it gets to breathe and be sort of a AMC drama in a way that I don't think it's been able to be in a while.
But what they did so brilliantly, I thought, was they intercut it. They spliced in the zombie with the stuff back at the farm with really focused character moments.
Oh yeah. It's a heavy episode. And is
is.
that the jail?
I thought
Do you think that's going to be the jail?
Yeah, that was what I was thinking too.
Because I mean, it's a small jail if it is.
Yeah.
But still, I guess this is. Since Brad hasn't read it, eventually there's a point in which in the book that they move into a jail,
a prison.
Like it's kind of like that. Only it's supposed to be a big maximum security prison.
Rick fought?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a water treatment.
Well, yeah, it's a water treatment.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But one of the moments that got me kind of like, holy shit, is when Shane picked up that wrench and threw it at him.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Where Rick is trying to make a point, is like knock it off. Shane is actually wanting to kill Rick, which
it's fascinating.
It's fascinating.
I've said this before, but they are doing a better job with that relationship than the book does.
Oh yeah,
partially because they give it more time, but
yeah,
they. Oh man,
but you know where it's heading because you can see it just building and building.
Oh yeah, at this point,
I mean, people who've read the comic know where it's going, but people who haven't, well, I'm sure will be shocked what happens.
At this point, I think everybody knows like what's going to happen. It's just how.
I haven't read it. I'm into it. Like it's each week it's getting better and better, and I was really excited when I thought Rick was giving Shane a taste of his own medicine and just totally leaving him behind.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
And of course Rick saw the badge and was like, "No, I'm a cop.
Yeah.
I got to save him."
But that's the difference between Rick and Shane is Rick will always come back because he's the good guy.
Did you guys get the symbolism of the zombie walking in the field and Shane?
Shane's alone.
Well, he's.
That's what I got from it.
I feel like he's like driving down the road watching that. Like that is what you're becoming without getting bitten.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the show is. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of what that show wants to be.
I think on The Talking Dead, Chris Hardwick asked one of the panel people that, and no one seemed to have an answer.
No one straight out said it.
Yeah. And we found out that that one girl wasn't bit or scratched.
I kind of knew that.
Yeah, but it seems like almost like some time passed. Because didn't she just all of a sudden be awake in the episode?
Well, and because
the
remember,
episode starts a week later.
Yeah, because last week they had only captured that guy.
That's right.
This week they have decided what to do and they've taken him out in there. So yeah, some time has already passed.
That's right.
And I also that scene where the two of them were the scene when like he's got the zombie on top of him and then the other one is trying to get him and then there's more zombies everywhere.
Yeah,
awesome. I thought Michonne was going to show up.
Really?
Like, right then. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because they've said that she's supposed to be in this season. I don't know for sure if that's still true, but after last season, they said she was supposed to be in season 2. So,
well, I guess it makes sense because she shows up just before they go to the prison, or she shows up at the prison.
No, she shows up at the prison.
That's
but
right.
Still,
so we'll see.
Yeah, when that was happening, I was like, "Oh shit, they need a ninja."
Whoa, that was racist.
No. What?
Michonne's black for people who don't know that, and he said ninja. I didn't say it.
Wait, ninjas are Japanese.
Okay, never mind. I'm the racist one because I'm the only one who knows that terminology for. And even my wife loves the show. That's our Sunday show we watch together.
Nice. That's so sweet.
No, you told me to.
Well, you know, there are studies.
Brad doesn't know.
There are studies that say that people who have things spoiled for them actually enjoy things more than people who don't.
False.
Just saying. Oh yeah, Laura's not actually being recorded right now. But anyway,
you'll pick her up. She's loud enough.
No, she's really. These mics are very directional. Yeah. But anyway.
Anyways.
So that's everything you saw?
Yeah, I saw Comic Book Man. We talked about it.
Yeah,
it's getting better. You should watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really sad that there's only 6 episodes. That's the show I'm into right now. And
yeah.
There's only 3 to go. And I don't think they're coming out for second season, so that's sad.
Well, I'll go next.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
I've been going last a lot. So plus, I just remembered something that I watched this week that I forgot. There are a couple of different things. The first thing is not something I watched. I mean, I kind of watched it a little bit, but I didn't really. It's something I'd seen before. I watched some of Jackie Brown this week, but I bring that up because I had my parents watch Jackie Brown this week, which I convinced my mom to watch a Quentin Tarantino movie, and she liked it.
Wow.
Oh.
I know.
I guess she likes boring movies.
What? Are you kidding me? I'm gonna punch you in the face. If you weren't in that sound booth.
Here's me halfway through Jackie Brown. Should I keep going or?
Are you kidding me? Jackie Brown is great. I mean, it's one of the best. It's maybe the best Elmore Leonard movie.
I'm sure it's a great book. I don't know if it's a great movie.
Oh, you're insane. That movie is amazing. And that is a really great con movie with one of the most badass lines ever delivered by a woman.
Fight.
When Samuel L. Jackson is there, one of my favorite Samuel L. Jackson characters too. When Samuel L. Jackson is in her house and the lights go out, and you don't really know what's going on, and then she
"Hey,
says,
who turned off the motherfucking lights?"
No. Then she says, "Get your hands from around my neck." That is the most badass line anyone has ever delivered. It is so good. That movie is great, and if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. Unlike Brad, who doesn't like movies.
I've watched it.
You can pick up the director-approved Blu-ray now.
Yeah, for like $8 on Amazon. Yeah. That's how I got it.
It's a good movie. It's just not great for me. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, it's got one of my.
There are some good parts in it, but it's just like not when there's Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs and
it kind
Glorious Bastards. I'm just more interested.
I think it feels like one of the maybe the most mature Quentin Tarantino movies. Because it's the one where he has to restrain his style as much as possible to really let the characters in that movie grow. I mean, I can't think of another one of his movies that has an ending as like strong and divisive as that one is. Because all of his other movies sort of end on this real high note, and that one just sort of breathes. But whoa. Sorry,
I went to kiss my wife and I ate shit.
Oh, that's a bad statement. Anyway, I also I watched all of the first season of Life's Too Short, which is the Ricky Gervais show with Warwick Davis.
I didn't even know. I thought it was still coming out.
I think it's all aired on BBC. I think it starts airing on BBC America this week. But I just downloaded it all because I was bored. And it's pretty good. What?
Stealing.
Oh yeah. No, I did. It's pretty good. It's if you like.
Your argument is valid because it's going to be available on HBO, so you didn't have to steal it.
Except I don't have HBO.
But you can get HBO.
You're right, but I didn't make an argument. I wanted to watch it then. Anyway,
so now we're revising our stealing argument.
No. Because if I really liked,
available right now.
No, that's the argument I had before. Anyway, this is anyway. It's pretty good if you like extras. It's pretty much the show Extras, only instead of being an extra, the main character is an acting midget. And
little person.
Well, yeah.
So rude.
And then instead of having scenes where he goes and talks to his agent and has an awkward scene. He is an agent for other midgets, and then there's an awkward scene there too. But it really is the same show. It's the same kind of comedy. It's almost a little annoying how similar it is. But Warwick Davis is fantastic. He plays like a douchey version of himself. Like, he's supposed to be Warwick Davis, but he's really self-inflated and going through this horrible divorce and like as just kind of a jerk all the time. Sort of the way that Ricky Gervais is in Extras.
Or is he like Jeremy Piven's character but short in from Entourage?
Sort of.
I never seen an episode of Entourage,
but a bit more jokey.
I saw one. It was all right.
Yeah, I saw the whole first season. It's not. I didn't care much. Anyway, but it's pretty good. So if you like Ricky Gervais comedy, you should check it out. And then the first episode of Awake came out this week, or aired this week on NBC, which it's the new show by Kyle Killen, Kyle Killen is his name, who he produced a show or created a show a few years ago called Lone Star, which got canceled after 2 episodes, even though everyone who watched that show just loved it.
But not enough watched it to love it.
Well, the problem is like critically, people loved it,
Yeah,
but Fox didn't promote it as they often do, and so they canceled it after 2 episodes. But it was one of these like little gold mines that gets passed around that people tell each other about. I've seen it; it is really good. I don't remember much of it, but Jon Voight is in it. That show is about like a con man who's living 2 different lives, and Awake is about a guy who he's in a car crash with his wife and his son, and after the car crash, when he wakes up, his wife is alive, his son is dead. He's a cop, or he's a detective. He has to solve these murders, and then when he goes to sleep, instead of sleeping, he wakes up again, and his son is alive, and his wife is dead, and he's still a detective, but he's got a different partner, and he has to solve a different crime, and he doesn't know which of the 2 worlds is the real one.
Entertainment Weekly said it's a really good show.
It was really great. The first episode feels a little bit pitchy. Like they spend a lot of time explaining to you all of the little aspects of like all of the rules about how this works, and there's not a lot of rules. It's just that they want to fill in all the gaps so you don't have any questions, so that they make sure you understand it, so that in the future, I assume, they can do this every week. But what's interesting about that is that in solving in explaining those rules, they're spending a lot of time on these characters and sort of giving you little hints at what really fascinating questions the show is going to bring up in the future. I'm excited to see the rest of it. It's got Laura Allen in it, who was one of the girlfriends from a show called Terriers a few years ago that got canceled, and that show was
Jones
great.
From 24.
Oh yeah, sure.
President Taylor.
Oh, okay.
She's a psychiatrist in one of them.
Oh yes, you're right. Yeah. I forgot her name, but yeah, I know who you're talking
I meant
about.
to watch that because it looked interesting.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And what's interesting is that in the 2 different worlds, he's got 2 different psychiatrists, and there's an interesting little bit where you realize like the 2 different psychiatrists are telling him different things, and as such are having their own conversation vicariously through him, which is kind of cool. But it's really good, so you should check it out. And that's everything I watched.
Cool. We'll touch on my stuff real quick. Not much of note. AMC's been running the Godfather trilogy, but they've only shown 1 and 2 so far. So, like, they showed 1 and then 2 and then 1 again and then 2 again. So I don't know why people hate 3 so much that
they just ignore it.
I think they're bundling into a Saturday marathon where you
I
have
don't
to watch the other 2 to watch the third one.
I don't remember the third one at all.
I haven't seen 2 or 3.
Wow.
All
I
right.
know.
It's for conversation. Next, I saw the documentary. Like, people love that movie. So, like, what else is there to talk about?
Oh yeah, no, I understand.
And I like them. They're good. They're really good. Like, something that's just edited for TV and that I can just jump onto a network show, like, station and watch and capture, like, holds my attention all evening. Like, that's a special movie. So then I watched the documentary Cropsey, which is about like kids from I think Staten Island.
Staten Island?
Staten Island.
Okay.
Have been told this, boogeyman tale of, you go into the woods or some crops will snatch you up. And
yeah, no, I've heard about this.
And on Staten Island, there used to be a big mental hospital that got closed down or whatever, and some would escape and roam the forest or whatever. And there's like underground tunnels that a bunch of like homeless people and the mental patients would hang out in and stuff.
So is it a documentary explaining how this might have actually been based in truth?
Sort of, because they start with the tale, and then they go into focusing on one guy who was fingered for the couple of the kidnappings. Poor choice of words, I know. Who was accused of the kidnappings, and I think he was a janitor at the mental hospital.
This is what you get for being part of that kidnapping. That was a finger going up his ass. Anyways, go ahead.
So, like, there's this one guy who's accused of the one kidnapping, and eventually, like, they find the body, and then he's lumped in with the other, I think, 6 or 7 kidnappings that have gone over, but they don't have any real concrete evidence. He's just they start to the documentary makes you suspicious that because he's kind of weird, that's why police from that era just kind of used him to just find somebody to get the public quieted down and not like out hunting for blood. So it's all pinned on this guy, and so for most of the documentary they kind of build up that maybe he didn't do it, and there should be a reason for him to be cleared of the charges. But then halfway through that, he starts to actually talk to the documentary people through like letter correspondence and like lawyers, and then you realize he's just screwing with them. So you're like, yeah, he probably did it. Like this guy's seems like kind of a jerk, and there is a lot of evidence to support that it was him, but there's never a real conclusion reached, and he eventually gets sentenced to stay in prison for even longer. He's not convicted of the murders. He's just convicted of being associated with them.
And how long ago was this?
It was like in the 70s, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, no, the 80s. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So not that long ago.
Yeah, not that long ago. Yeah, he got like 20 to life, and he's got like another 50 to life now.
So he's still alive now, so he could be out there.
Well, he's in prison, so.
We think.
And also, like, I was just thinking, the documentary doesn't point this out, but there haven't been any kidnappings since he got put in jail, so of that nature, or at least they don't talk about them. Yeah. Like they only focus on the ones during the time he was incarcerated. So,
cool.
Yeah, it was. I heard about it on the Tell 'em Steve Day podcast. They were talking about like, was it scary enough for you, or disturbing enough? And because they're from that area,
right? It
just seemed like an interesting documentary to check out, and it was all right. The fact that it leads you one way, and then by the end you're just like, oh, it's probably what you thought all along. Yeah. There's no real conclusion. You're just like, okay, well, that's over. And it's short, I think.
Sort of Zodiac-ish. Yeah. Only not Zodiac.
Except you never find out who Zodiac is.
It's the brother from Drew Carey's show.
What? Haven't seen it. And then I watched Chasing Amy, which is another, I guess, Kevin Smith's only real Oscar contender. Like, that's his big Oscar bait movie, like, other than Red State, I guess.
I'll trace it.
It's funny.
Chalk line around your dead fucking body.
That's like one of my favorite lines from that. And then I caught SWAT, which is a old Colin Farrell, Samuel L. Jackson cop movie, which I forgot has Jeremy Renner in it.
It's great.
Basically being SWAT the same role that he's in what was it? I just remembered it today and now I forgot it.
Thor, The Town.
The Town.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. We just talked about it earlier.
It's like you're right. Same arc where like he's part of the team and then he breaks off and then he orchestrates, all the shit that happens afterwards and becomes the bad guy. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this. I'm surprised I forgot it.
The entire premise of that movie is like 5 minutes in The Dark Knight, though. Like, The Dark Knight adopts the premise of that movie and then turns that into a tiny little plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still like that movie.
Which was SWAT or
SWAT.
The Town? Yeah.
Well, and all three of the movies that we just talked about.
It's interesting because, like, when I saw it in the theater back in the day, I was like, "This is gonna be stupid."
It is stupid.
And then it's like, yeah, it's stupid, but it's also kind of fun. And then now I was like, oh, remember that stupid movie? And then I started watching it. And I'm like, still sucked into it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
It feels like a fun sort of 90s movie.
Yeah.
It just wasn't made in the 90s.
So anyway, that's what I watched, and then
Cool. So we saw the Lorax this week. Brad, should people go and watch the Lorax?
I know what Fox News is picking on this week. Yeah, I think it's worth seeing, especially if you're a child.
James?
No. Even if you're a child. No, you shouldn't see this movie.
I thought it was fun. I think you should go see it. Lori?
I liked it. I thought it was adorable.
There you go. Here's the trailer.
Welcome to Sneedville, a city, they say, that was plastic and fake. And they liked it that way. No nature, no flowers, no one seemed to mind. But a secret was waiting for someone to find.
Oh, hi, Ted. Do you want to see something cool?
Whoa, what are those?
Trees. They used to grow all around here. What I want more than anything is to see a real living tree.
From the creators of Despicable Me.
Whoa.
No one ever leaves town. See what he's up to. Comes the world of Dr. Seuss as you've never seen it before.
Okay.
So, you want to know what happened to the trees? But I didn't think anyone still cared.
Well, that's me, the guy who still cares.
It all started a long time ago when I accidentally summoned a mystical creature as old as time itself, the Lorax.
Hey, did you chop down this tree?
What's that? I think he did it. You need to change the way things are.
I won't let you down.
Whoa, you got a beautiful town here, Ted. I can't think of any reason you'd ever want to go outside of town again.
Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. I think the Lorax meant for you to have this.
The last seed.
It's not about what it is. It's about what it can become.
Bring it on, Teddy!
I could just kiss you right now. Well, we don't have time for that.
I don't know, we have a little time.
Dr. Seuss's The Lorax.
So who invited the giant furry peanut?
I'll go right up your nose.
Whoa! You wouldn't hit a woman.
That's a woman?
So the best part of the Lorax is obviously Danny DeVito being the Lorax.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
absolutely.
there's some lines that he delivers that is just classic DeVito when he says, "Wait, garbage?" And I just was laughing my ass off because it's how he says garbage just makes me laugh.
But he's in like I feel like if you add all of his screen time together, it's maybe 15 minutes.
Oh yeah,
Like he's not really in it that much.
and he's a top billed actor too.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean, Ed Helms is the other. Ed Helms is really the main character of
Yeah.
the movie. Well, and
I was
Zac
reading an
Efron.
interview with him, and it's his favorite Dr. Seuss book, and his favorite character is the
Who? Ed Helms?
mm-hmm.
I think
Well,
he did a
the
really good
Onceler.
job.
I think he
Oh,
did
yeah.
a fine job
He's
too.
not sold as being the main character in the trailer. Like you think that Zac Efron's kid character is going to carry the movie, but no, it's Ed Helms.
Was he saying that his favorite character is the character he played, or that
Mm-hmm.
the Lorax is his favorite character? Okay, because I actually really agree with that. Because the character in the book, I think, is a much more subtle and interesting character than he is in this movie. Because in this movie, he doesn't actually have any agency, or he doesn't have as much agency in the things that are happening to the trees. Because basically, like, he invents the Thneed, and then promises he won't cut down a tree. Spoilers. And then, of course, he hires his family to come in and help him, and they really do all of the work. And then there is this montage. Like, all of the actual character change happens in this obnoxious musical montage And then all of a sudden he's a bad guy. And in the book, it's much more fascinating than that, because basically he is this sort of, ambitious, kind of money hungry kind of guy who's more concerned with how successful he can be than the trees and nature around him. And he doesn't learn the lesson while he's young. We only know that he's learned that lesson through him telling the story to this kid, which is the bookends of the book, The Lorax. And so that character arc is really sort of subtle in the book. It's maybe the most interesting character that Dr. Seuss ever wrote. Like, all of the other characters he wrote are fairly flat or just straight up children's books, children characters, but this is one where we see this guy actually being filled with guilt, but he never really was able to do anything at the time. Whereas here, it just feels like they skip over all of the actual interesting stuff in order to have these crazy long and uninteresting action scenes of, like, him driving a motorcycle to this place or him driving a motorcycle to that place.
It wasn't a motorcycle. It's like a one-wheel cycle.
A monoped.
Yeah.
A monoped.
Or it's a scooter. Yeah, sure, scooter.
I'm just being a butthead, but
no, but you know, you hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, I actually thought the movie looked really good. I thought it was beautifully animated, actually.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's, of all of the Dr. Seuss animation or movies, I think it looks the most like Dr. Seuss art. And actually, like, one of the things in the first little montage at the beginning, I realized, like, this, it made all like the Dr. Seuss architecture and stuff like that feel like actual usable architecture, like the stairs on the outside and stuff like that. Like, that felt very Dr. Seuss. But
yeah, there's a couple parts, so I really laughed in it. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but like the little pipsqueak thing was always kind of funny.
I noticed we were laughing at more of the darker humor, like when the fish are getting speared.
Or just the I feel like every time that we laughed out loud was times when no one else was laughing.
Yeah.
Especially the obnoxious. There were a lot of obnoxious people in our theater, but
there's dark jokes like when the Onceler's mom is says, I've always been proud of you. It's like, no, actually, you said that I was going to fail, and it really affected me like my whole life. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
Or some of it was just, like when the Lorax is talking about, didn't you see all the lightning and the thunder and all of that? And he's like, no, I didn't see that. And he's like, oh, well, okay. And he's like, didn't happen. Like, jokes like that were really good, fun Ed Helms jokes. Those are the ones that I thought were funny. And then the things that they were just like throwing at the screen, like the fish, I was just like, oh, yeah, this is just you trying to put flashy stuff on there for kids, and it's not.
Hang on a second. Laura wants to say something about the fish.
I love the fish. I thought they were precious, and I loved that their voices were the same kind of voices in that Rayman video that you play sometimes.
Weren't they? The voices of all the animals collectively were pretty much the minions from Despicable Me.
Well,
like, there were even times in the background where I was like, oh yeah, this is just the minions again. Like, you found that note, and now you're gonna hit it to death.
Yeah, there's a level in Rayman Origins where you're swimming in the ocean, and it's just a bunch of fish going la 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 la. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah, no, they did that, and every time they did it, I was like, oh yeah, you didn't try at all. Like, all the songs in this movie they came up with one line that was the most direct way to say, like, I'm not really a bad person, am I? I'm not a bad person at all. And then they just repeated that line over and over again as the song, and I'm like, wait, this is not a musical. This is just you singing one line over and over again. Like, all of the musical elements, every time they started singing, I would just cringe, like, oh, you're going to stop trying again.
James is really dominating this podcast about how much he hates the Lorax.
Yeah,
I have a lot of evidence.
At some point.
Is this?
What part did you like?
He's able to form his opinions faster and more concisely than.
Well,
there was rambling, and
there was a lot of downtime in the movie where I could think about it.
Yeah, like I haven't read the book in a long time. All I remember is it being really weighty and having like the most effect on me. Reading a Dr. Seuss book, like, as a kid, I'd be like, oh man, we shouldn't damage our resources and flush away our, our ecosystem. But like the reason I say like this movie's worth go seeing is it still has a really good message, but it's everything outside of the original source material that just totally makes me want to tune out. Like, there's parts when when the Lorax is on screen, the message is going, it's great, but then they try to stretch out that's another thing with the Dr. Seuss extended movies. They have such a difficulty stretching out the material that it's just littered with garbage in between all these places. So
they have to, they pad it big time with the songs and the action and stuff.
There's stuff that's just like spastic for no good reason other than like, we don't know what to do, so let's just try to grab your attention with this, and then here let's make something loud so that you're still invested in like your attention, and it's just like tunes me out. Like,
here's something cute with big eyes. Like, aren't you entertained?
Yeah.
Laura is.
But no, I mean, to me, what the most important thing with these animated movies is that they're enjoyable. And I thought the movie was enjoyable. I mean, sometimes it feels like you're padding the story. But, I mean, the whole... every time the little Ted boy came back to the Onceler's house, I always thought it was a really fun time.
Oh, yeah.
And, because you're not even seeing... it's a tribute to Ed Helms as a voice actor, as you don't really see him act when he's the old Onceler, but he still does a great job conveying the emotion. And again, I thought the movie looked beautiful.
Yeah, I think the relationship between Ted and the Onceler in that scene is actually really good.
Or
in that scene, in that setting.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because they do more than one scene there.
It's important, and I thought it was fun, and even Ted's home life with his grandma. His grandma was really cool. Like, she knew how to get rid of the mom who's overbearing and obnoxious. And
which, by the way, why does his mom have a different accent than everyone else in the family?
She's supposed to be a Jewish mother.
Because they don't know how to cast.
White doesn't have a Jewish mother accent.
because nobody knows how to cast good voice actors anymore. They just cast.
The kid's not really self-loathing, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, heyo.
What's going on there? It just feels like the voice actor, like, we need you to be entertaining. So, I have this voice I do, and I'm going to add it to the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just feel like they water down a lot of that message with all of the other junk, and then when they do the message, they are so on the nose with it, and they're so firm with it that it's just
lazy.
Too much. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a dynamic idea.
I feel like when they're making it, they're sitting there going like, we need to pad this, and throw this musical number in, because they're kids, they're not going to care. It's all flashy and fun, so let's just it doesn't matter. But it's like Pixar has proven time and time again that you can entertain kids with a full deep story.
Yeah, if you try at all in telling the story,
with no musical numbers,
kids will be entertained by that. Yeah, you don't have to do all this flashy SpongeBob SquarePants Family Guy bullshit of just like, we'll just throw random shit in there, and if we do enough, you'll say it's okay. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought it was a fun movie.
I thought it was too. Like, I enjoyed the characters, like all the woodland characters. Like, they were really entertaining.
Yeah.
For being like not integral to the original story, but those musical numbers and like the action.
I mean,
car chases.
sometimes
is the O'Hare guy even in the original story?
No. That's all
that's
new and made up.
in.
And he was so a character ripped out of Despicable Me and just dropped in there like, hey, look how wacky I am.
I love some of the visual stuff. I mean, when he was walking into his limo, his henchmen would move their hands like he was walking up. Is really funny. And the bear that was inside the refrigerator just like gorging himself on butter.
Eating the butter was great.
Yeah.
Well, because the sound of it was just great. Yeah, absolutely. But that's the thing. Like, if the whole movie were those scenes, but it's not. It's 10 minutes of floating down the river. Oh no, where'd this waterfall come from? Oh, it came from every other movie with a river in it.
Yeah.
Like
when someone's floating down one.
Yeah. 3 times it falls. I wanted the bear to say that. The fat bear. Suddenly voiced by John Hurt. And then there'd be aliens. That's a joke about the crystal skulls, Brad.
Okay, great.
All right. Anyway.
Keep trying, James. I'll give you $300 if you make me laugh, and then $200 if you don't.
Didn't I already make you laugh once? You're laughing now. I just won $300.
No, Ryan made me laugh.
No, you were laughing. No. We'll roll the tape back. Anyway, this is less entertaining. Than This is even less entertaining than Lorax.
Oh, heyo.
Aw.
The guys, we put that out there, and the guys who made the Lorax are like, "Oh, I can't wait to hear what these guys say about my movie. Why don't they like it?"
And I think that the story of Ted going out to see the Onceler for a girl takes a lot away from his character and that whole interaction. Like,
yeah, but
suddenly, I feel like he's not. No, it's not. Like in the book, he just goes to the Onceler because he wants to know himself.
Yeah.
And for one thing, that is more interesting than him doing it for a girl. But then by the end, it doesn't feel as genuine. It doesn't actually feel like he learned something. It feels like the main character learned something, and then this kid has to.
Actually, I actually disagree with you. I think that he went out there for the girl, but then he learned that some things are more important, and that is planting the tree in the fake world. And then you get everything you want.
I guess so, but I think it feels.
But
you're
just cold and heartless.
Sure, that's what it is. I hate cute things.
I know, it's
especially
really,
when they're forced.
It's really crazy. I'd do anything for my girl. Hey, I gave you tickets so you and your friends go see Kelly Clarkson. Why do I have to see Kelly Clarkson? I don't have any Twinkies to give her.
As long as I don't have to see Taylor Swift, I'll be all right. Because she was in this movie.
She was.
I didn't mind her.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't bad.
Shit on her parade. Kanye already did that.
Oh, hey.
Oh, that was good. That was really good.
James, I'm going to let you finish. James, I'm going to let you finish.
Kanye had the best
That
interaction.
would have worked better if he was talking.
Anyway, what's funny is 95% of the time you could have just said that and it would have been great.
James,
there you go. There you go.
James, I'll let you finish. Let you finish. Lorax is the best animated movie ever.
Oh my
You
god!
should have won that award.
Even though you're joking, I still want to hate you.
Anyways, hey, stay tuned, Real Nerds listeners, because James is going to go bye-bye, but me and Brad will be back in however fast Brad edits this with our review of Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie.
This will be the best rated section of the podcast.
Oh, man, right? Anyways, we just got done seeing Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie, me and Brad. Say hello, Brad.
What did we just watch?
I said Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie.
I was joking. Like, what did we just watch?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, totally.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a weird movie.
Very weird. So, Brad, should people go see Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie?
I think, yes, if you're already a Tim and Eric fan. I don't know if you... Well, I guess I wasn't a big fan to begin with, and I liked it. So
I've never seen anything they've done, ever.
Yeah, I watched some of the Awesome Job show, but not a ton to make me like a hardcore fan, and I went into this kind of blind, so
yeah,
I liked it. So
I think people should go see it because I want to see more movies like it. Not necessarily another Tim and Eric movie, but these kind of weird comedies.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyways, when you hear the trailer, I don't know, it'll give you a good sense of what's going on. So cue up the trailer there, Bradley.
Come on down to the grand reopening of the Swallow Valley Mall.
I'll be there. My best friend Tim Heidecker will be there.
You're gonna like what you see. Ooh, you're gonna like the fake trees. Ooh, you're gonna like all our new stores. Ooh, you're gonna like meeting my new son, Jeffrey.
I'm gonna murder myself if you don't come down to my new fucking mall.
Come on down to the grand reopening of the Swallow Valley Mall.
My dad told me this is the coolest mall ever. You think you know more than my dad? Don't fucking come then.
It's the grand reopening of the Swallow Valley Mall. It's just off Route 35, right here in historic Swallow Valley.
In 2012.
I've been meaning to tell you this all night, but I love you, man. I love our friendship.
Thank you. I honor you, and I honor our friendship, and I honor our love.
Two of America's most celebrated icons.
Hi, I'm Eric Wareheim.
And I'm Tim Heidecker.
Motherfucking Tim and Eric.
Oh, yeah.
Present a motion picture so epic.
I want to eat their fucking hearts! Yeah. Yes!
It will leave you in shock.
Breathe.
It's got romance.
I want to go deep inside you and explode in your canal.
It's got action.
Where are your sons?
It's got sex. It's got special effects. It's got stars.
Oh, how
nice.
Hi. I'm Chef Goldblum.
Taquito! Fuck you, you shit!
It's got shrimp.
Sounds like shrimp.
Laugh. Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie.
That's it.
That's our movie.
I paid $1 billion for that piece of shit.
Oh, yeah! If you got what the movie's about from that trailer, you're better off than I am, because I remember maybe 2 months ago they released a Red Man trailer for it on IGN.com, and I watched it, and I laughed my ass off. And I was just watching it, I said, this is the weirdest looking movie I've ever seen. And I'm a big fan of those kind of movies. I'm a big fan of the MacGrubers and Hot Shots, but this one is in a different level altogether because it's so bizarre that I can't even describe it to you. I couldn't even tell you.
It's off the wall bonkers.
Yeah, it's because it's just so. Fuck. I mean, the story is they wasted $1 billion on a 3-minute movie, and they wasted all the money because they basically pampered themselves and.
Yeah, they spent the money on themselves instead of the actual production.
And they got Johnny Depp to be in the movie, but then they found out it was just a Johnny Depp impersonator. Oh my! I can.
They bought the character a suit made out of diamonds, like $1 billion worth of diamonds, and got themselves their own makeovers. And yeah, what else did they waste the money on?
Zach Galifianakis' character is.
Oh yeah, they gave him a $500,000 a week salary. Yeah,
is he some
to
Jim?
Just be
Jim
inspirational.
John? Is it their like spiritual leader? And so it's their attempt to pay back $1 billion in the contract they signed.
Yeah.
And so they decide.
The contract held them personally responsible for the $1 billion. Like a rare move by the studio.
They decided to go after they saw this commercial in a bathroom. Go to a mall ran by Will Ferrell in Swallow Valley, and he said, "I'll guarantee you'll make a fucking $1 billion in this mall." And they go to the mall, and they turn out, obviously it's a scam, but they try to make the best of it. And I don't know. Like, I don't even know what to say.
They interact with all the different shop owners and
Will Forte, John C. Reilly.
Yeah, Will Forte runs a sword shop.
Yeah, which you should find his commercial for that sword shop online. It's hilarious.
There's a used toilet paper salesman.
The
one chick runs a balloon kiosk.
That of celebrity lookalike balloons or something.
Yeah.
You can't watching this movie.
An adult store.
Yeah, that nobody seems to be running. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
it's always open, but there's nobody in there. I can't.
There's a restaurant that just sells bread meals.
Is that inside the mall or is that outside the mall?
I think it was inside.
Was it? What was the name of it? Incredibles.
Incredibles. Yeah.
And everything's made out of bread.
Even the forks are made out of bread.
We're sitting here trying to tell you this movie, and I can't even tell you. Jeff Goldblum's in it, but his name's Chef Goldblum. Or Chef Goldblum. Watching this movie, and we went and saw it at, the Landmark Mayan, which is, usually an independent movie, because this is an independent movie. It's made by Funny or Die, which is Will Ferrell and Adam McKay's kind of website they run. And, it was bizarre because me and Brad I want to say we were the youngest people in that theater. And watching it, I think we were the only ones laughing at it.
I don't know why those other people were there. Like, they like the gun scene.
Yeah,
I noticed that, but
we won't spoil that one because that's the funniest part of the movie. But you know what I mean? We were there and we were laughing, and no one else was laughing at that movie. And I don't know if they didn't get it or.
Like, you'd think at 12:30 in the middle of the day that people going to that movie would be fans of the show.
Yeah.
But it seemed like these were people who just walked in like, hey, what's this Tim and Eric movie?
Yeah. I mean, they're on a poster riding a wolf.
It looks adorable.
And the wolf is in the movie.
Hilariously.
Yeah.
The movie's littered with surrounded in meta humor, so it's like a movie within a movie. the characters will break the fourth wall and
all the time,
and there'll be these programs in between, like their TV show, of like these really horrible infomercials and.
But in this one, they had like
self-help commercials.
Know your movie, where it's the meta humor where something happens in the movie, then they'd cut to these really awkward scenes with these two old guys, and they try to explain the movie to you.
Dealing with conflict, or what was the other one? I forget.
I don't know. It's about how he took a bigger bite of the apple and he didn't try as
conflict
hard.
resolution.
Conflict resolution. You can't. Now, I was saying it earlier. The movie has so many things going on at once. If you don't think something's funny for 5 minutes, you'll laugh at. Well, I did. I laughed at something probably every 5 minutes or so because it was just so bizarre. And did you notice that they would always have these cuts where it'd be like schizo, where it'd cut and the guy would be like, and then
that's like the show. They'll hang on something that just looks odd or weird.
Yeah, and that's what I noticed too in the movie is they would have these weird cuts where the character would be saying something, and then it'd go to like a reaction cut of another character, and it would stay on that character for an abnormal amount of time, and then the character would look at the camera and then shake their head. I can't even tell you how bizarre this movie was.
If you like weird films, this is for you.
Yeah, but in like a good way. Like I love comedies like this where I don't know. I like these kind of movies like MacGruber and stuff, and I mean MacGruber had a way more cohesive plot. And, point A to point B, but this one is again, I can't even tell you exactly what kind of movie it is. It's a comedy, but I mean, in one scene when he goes to the used toilet paper shop, he steals the guy's son and just steals him and opens his mouth like he's checking a horse and makes him walk around in a circle. It's
like he's trying him out.
Yeah, it's bizarre. But they also had that whole montage of them running and two horses running with them, and they ran like 1,000 miles to this place.
Yeah, they went from like Hollywood to like Oklahoma or something.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Just running,
really unusually.
Yeah.
And I was reading the credits at the end. They wrote all the songs in it.
Yeah.
Like the horses running song, but it was like a movie rap within a movie with another movie. Because at the end, they had that wrap up, and then it went to another part where they're wrapping up the movie again. I don't know.
Like they spent $1 billion on the 3-minute movie, then made him
Then they made another movie that premiered.
That's better.
I didn't think the Steven Spielberg guy was very good though.
Well, the fakes.
Yeah, it's fake Steven Spielberg. Like the fake Johnny Depp, I thought looked pretty close to Johnny Depp. He didn't sound like him at all, but the Spielberg.
And there's tons of like good actors.
There.
Robert Loggia is like the super villain.
And wasn't it who's his henchman? He's like the bad guy in all these 80s movies.
William Atherton.
Yeah.
Like he's the reporter in Die Hard movies.
In Die Hard, and is he the bad guy in
Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the mayor. No, he's not the mayor. He's the mayor, deputy mayor. Mayor. And he shuts down the system. Yeah, so he's the bad guy in all these 80s movies.
Yeah.
And he was in it. And then they beat up their moms and cut off their fingers trying to find out where they're at.
Yeah.
Like literally elderly woman abuse in this movie. But hey, if you think that's the worst part, nope.
Nope. There's way more shocking stuff littered throughout.
Is. And I was telling Brad, I was reading reviews that they said this was one of the most shocking movies people have seen. I mean, it was some shocking parts, but it wasn't the most shocking one I've seen. And I don't know if it's because I've seen Hobo with a Shotgun and things like that. You know what I mean? But yeah.
That's more violent, I guess. And this one's like,
I guess it's
Eric sits in a tub and gets shit on by 4 kids and gets his penis pierced.
Yeah, that they show.
Yeah, it's not censored at all.
Not censored.
I mean,
guess
it's a fake one, but
yeah. I mean, I guess, but yeah, I guess I don't know if I'm desensitized by all the shit I watch. But I will say I did laugh a lot in this movie, and I did have fun in the movie. So
yeah,
I mean,
it's still tons of fun, but I've got a disturbed sense of humor anyway. So
yeah, me too. And I mean, there's just goofy parts, and I said breaking the fourth wall all the time, looking at the camera and doing these really, like when they explained a joke and how they're going to make it in the movie, and it wasn't made in the movie because they said this is a theatrical movie. It was
they're basically explaining like they were writing the script, and then there's like that kind of that's what she said type of joke, like it just had to be inserted, and like no one could resist not saying it. And
he talks for, I don't know, maybe a minute about how they're trying to do it. Then all of a sudden it cuts right back into the movie, and
So yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think people should. Well,
without spoiling all the other great stuff.
Yeah, you'd have to watch it because I mean, we wouldn't do it justice at all.
Yeah.
Because that kind of humor is really specific, and yeah, I mean, those guys obviously have fun doing what they're doing because I don't know. Now I'm kind of curious to watch a show. I don't know if it's streaming or not. I might check it out because it's so bizarre.
It's funny. Like the only other full episode I've seen is one where Tim and Eric, they each have their own families. They go to this park, and Tim's is like the rich family, and then Eric's is the poor family, and then his family kind of acts like businessmen. Like all the kids have technical gadgets and are all having fun like the rich way, and then he ends up like absorbing Eric's family, like Eric's kids. So like there's this running theme with like Tim stealing people's kids.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
After watching this,
so now it's like his thing. Well, you made me remind me. You know, those two guys have this weird chemistry. That whole scene where they're getting rid of their Hollywood look, and they would cut
each other, and
they'd shave each other, but kiss each other at the same. Everything they cut off or took, it was bizarre. And those are parts I was laughing at that nobody else was laughing at, and people must have thought me and you were crazy in this movie or something. But whatever, I don't give a shit.
Or there'd be like subtitles on the screen that no one was laughing at, but we were.
Yeah, or what did he say in Spanish? And then it went on for like 2 extra. Like,
and he wasn't saying anything, but the subtitles are still going.
Subtitles.
Yeah.
Like, I respect you as a man, and Dobus. No, it's Dobus.
Yeah.
PR.
It's a sign.
Literally. A sign in the sky. Yeah, anyways, I had fun. Man, you should go see it.
Yep.
Unless you're a mom, I would not show this movie to my mother.
Yeah.
I wonder, I was thinking, is our kids going to see a movie that they, 25
What
years,
are you watching?
25 years from now, they have a podcast and they say, I want to show my dad this movie. He's a square. I hope my kids never think that about me. Will they even say that people are a square in the future? I don't know. That's so 1950s. I'm not even that old.
I'll call you a douchebag.
Yeah, I'd be a douchebag.
Yeah. No, son, I was a nerd just like you.
An retard or something.
Yeah.
Cool. So anyways, that was me and Brad's own review without James.
Sorry you didn't get to see it, James.
Yeah, sorry, James.
Man, that sounds really interesting. I actually want to go see that movie now. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, James, for coming by to give us that quick 2-second review. You can follow us on Twitter, real_nerds. You can also like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can email me, realnerds@gmail.com. Hey, we write some pretty funny blogs at realnerds.tumblr.com.
You do. I mean, we do.
And now you can comment on them.
You can, because
you don't even have to send us an email. You can put your thoughts right there with the article.
And we'd really appreciate that, please. Until then,
Twitter.
I already said Twitter. That's the first thing I said.
And make sure you
are listening to the show and you don't even listen to what I say.
Make sure you tune in next week to find out whether or not we all three got Comic-Con tickets.
Oh, yeah. Let us know. We'll let you know if we get Comic-Con tickets. And next week we are seeing John Carter.
John Carter.
Of Mars.
Yes. It should have that name.
You know what? It should be fun.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
There's not very many Confederate war heroes left. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.